Regina, I think that's probably you. Because I saw that you were logged in twice.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Yep.
This one.
Cool.
Okay, well, that's better. That's better. Okay, welcome everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started. If you've attended any of our prior town halls, this is very laid back. I'm going to go through today and talk about our admin window and SVF. But if at any point you have a question, please feel free to put it in the chat or raise your hand. Again, this is very informal and we're here for you. Oh, Sue's got a question.
What's an SVF?
That is the state valid file. You're going to learn more about that today. Okay, so welcome to today's E-Rate Town Hall on the administrative window and our state valid file. This session will provide essential updates and guidance for the 24-25 filing season. The link to this meeting and additional resources can be found here. The short link is right here, and then you also have the option of a QR code. Please feel free to access this at any time.
And just as a reminder, this is being recorded.
Yes. Today, we're going to cover several key objectives. We'll discuss the purpose of the administrative window, review important deadlines, learn about submitting accurate entity information, understand the role of the state valid file, and explore options if any updates are missing. Our goal is to equip you with the tools needed for a successful filing season. Before we jump in deeper, we want to go ahead and introduce our team. We have Dr. Corey McNeil, our E-Rate section chief, Adam Benjamin, our E-Rate coordinator, serving the West. We also have Ms. Sue Burrows, E-Rate coordinator, who serves the East, and myself, Sabrina Steigelman, working with the charters on the East. Feel free to reach out to any of us with questions. Our names are hyperlinked to our emails on this slide, and we are here for you. I also want to send a little gentle nudge to make sure you bookmark our DTL hub. There's a plethora of information here concerning school connectivity. We also have other things linked here like PRC information, home base information, our essentials calendar, all here at the DTL hub. So bookmark it. I also want to highlight our E-Rate annual playbook. This is a great place for additional guidance throughout the year. It's available at the link provided here. It's a great resource for navigating the E-Rate process and keeping up with some critical information. It takes you through the year, and those QR codes takes you to some more information highlighting those key topics. All right, so let's start with our administrative window. The administrative window is crucial for verifying and updating your entity information. This year, the window opened on October 15th, and typically it closes the Friday before the E-Rate filing window opens. All updates must be completed by this deadline. No changes can be made afterward. When reviewing your information, verify if anything has changed. You're going to want to make sure that the account administrator and general contact are correct, and confirm that all email addresses are current. You'll also want to make sure to check for any new entities that you plan to add, any closures that have recently occurred, or any anticipated changes like mergers. It's important to specify whether ADMs will be managed separately or combined in these cases. It's also a good time to review employee access, ensuring that everyone with access is still an active employee and has appropriate permissions. This is a good time to remove any users who are no longer with your organization. If you're part of a consortium or working with a consultant, you'll want to verify those relationships within your account to ensure that all collaborations are accurately documented. And you'll want to make sure that your financial information is up to date, including any changes to your chief financial officer or banking details. You'll also want to confirm that your sam.gov registration is current, as this is essential for funding. If you don't know who to go to for your sam.gov information, it's usually your finance department. All right, so now let's talk about how to access and manage your entity information in the E-rate portal. You're going to want to note arrow number 2 here on this slide in the screenshot. That's where you will go to manage your entity organization. Other highlighted items on this slide, on this key little page right here, includes, checking for messages, accessing child entities, any notifications you may get from the customer service center. But for the purposes of the admin window, you'll really want to pay attention to this number 2, where you would go to manage your entity organization. So this little entity snapshot here feature, it gives you a quick view of your entity and its associated annexes. You will use the hyperlinks here to access specific entities as needed. You'll also want to make sure your related organizations are accurately represented in the EPIC portal or the E-rate portal. This includes verifying any consortium memberships or consulting relationships right here. And now we'll talk about the state ballot file. So the state ballot file, or SVF, will open in December or January. This annual report includes enrollment and National School Lunch Program data, also known as NSLP data. It's used to determine discount rates and Category 2 budgets. Be aware that yep, so there we go. The SVF report collects average daily membership and free and reduced lunch eligibility data. School connectivity will validate these entities with resources like USAC and EDI and reach out to districts for confirmation if needed. Once completed, School Connectivity sends the SVF spreadsheet directly to the E-rate port of contact, not the consultant. So again, we will send this to E-rate points of contact, but not a consultant if you have one. You're going to want to make sure your point of contact is correct to avoid any delays in receiving this information. And that's it. That is our big high-level overview of the importance of the admin window and what the state ballot file is. We also want to just plug the upcoming Digital Leaders Exchange. So mark your calendar. It's coming up next week. This focus is curriculum and instruction. But if you can't make that one, you're going to want to make sure to follow DPI's Office of Digital Teaching and Learning on Eventbrite to stay informed about upcoming things, upcoming events. And now we are free to hang out and answer any questions you may have about the administrative window or SVF file or anything that comes to mind. Sue, is there anything you wanted to add?
I think you pretty much covered it. I'm not sure. I heard it said, I know we had it on the slide, but in the event you do miss something, and we get it, school boards have a tendency of, oh, by the way, we're opening a new building, or oh, by the way, closing a building. It can be addressed during 471 filing. It'll add a little bit of, that ping pong match with PIA, but it can be done. We can put it in a narrative about things that change that, you weren't made aware of when the window was open. School boards don't necessarily get the federal government. All good. We'll help you through it.
Any other questions?
There's one thing I wanted to add about the state valid file. One of the things that I was curious about when coming into this position was about the tight turnaround, right? So many, as you know, the admin window, as you just spoke about, closes typically in January, and we don't get the state valid file to many of you until probably the 1st of December. The why that I found after digging about this is that October is the first month in the school year where NSLP data is reported for that current school year. So in this case, 24-25. August and September typically can have residual data from the previous school year. So in order to have the most accurate information, October is the first month that the Office of School Nutrition can pull that information for us. And so since it has to be the entire month, we have to wait until October ends and then for them to process that data. So hopefully, given that today is the 13th, that within the next week or so, we will have that data for them to start the process of building the state valid file and turning it around to you all. So that's a little bit about the why. I'm as a person who likes to know the why. So if you are as well, hopefully that adds a little bit of the understanding as to why the sequence of events have to occur in the way that they do.
Some historical information. Does anyone have any questions about the upcoming filing window or any other E-rate related items aside from the SVF or admin window? All right, this is an easy group, y'all. So with that, we're just going to hang out here and you're free to hang out with us. If we're going to wait to see if anyone comes in late and we'll go over this information with them again. If not, feel free to hop back in or send us any messages if you have any questions.